This is a How Is He podcast with Podge and Papa, proudly sponsored by Amplify. Power up your podcast. Let's kick it off.
Welcome to second or third bonus episode, Papa.
Second, I think.
Second bonus episode. This week we have Carlow's one and only Mr. Brian O'Reilly. He needs no introduction. Secretary Supremo. The man, what he doesn't know in football isn't worth knowing. Papa, before we get to Brian, we're going to discuss 35 results, right?
Talk to me, Goose.
Couple of upsets in that cup.
Seen
Brian?
I did, yeah.
Well,
only one Division 1 side left in it, Collection.
I pointed out, remember last week when we spoke about it, I was surprised there was so few left in it. Donald Celtic, massive win in the 35s Cup, lads. 3-2 versus Belgorran. Scored a winner in the last minute. Is that?
Into the last 16 at home to Dunshaughlin.
Wow.
Brilliant for them.
That's massive, isn't it? Division 2, Highview 5, Slaney 0. In the 35s, Criard, at least all at home, Criard were about the last kick of the game against Selbridge. 4-3. Temple Log 3, Carnew 0. I think Carnew Pats this weekend, is it?
Carnew Pats Friday night. The league executive will all be there with the trophy. Winner wins the league. Carnew only need a draw.
Brilliant.
Yeah, seen it at the table, yeah.
Here's where the upsets are, Pop. Bagnallstown 1, St. Pat's 2 in the Mullins Cup.
I was talking to Murt.
Yeah, what they
on the
say?
live show Friday night. He said Bagnallstown were actually leading. They went 1-0 up.
Right.
And he says they just weren't at it. Pats deserved it.
Fair play to them.
We'll have new names in the Mullins Cup now for the first time in 3 years. Bagnallstown have won that the last 2 years. They won it when they
That's
were a
right.
Division 3 side 2 years ago. They won it when they were a Division 2 side last year.
Yeah.
And now they're finally a
I
Division
said
1
that to
side
him,
and
yeah.
not in it.
And before that, Papa, you won it.
For that,
That was the Pats won them before them too, right? Okay. Burn Celtic 4-0 walk 0. I was very surprised at that. Burn Celtic must be good 35s, lads.
They're the following weekend, the 29th. Them and Parkville in the Division 3 decider.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we looked at it last week as well,
Yeah,
right?
we mentioned that, yeah. A couple of games coming up, right?
Yeah,
big ones.
big couple of weekends in 35s.
Big win for Collection, 5-0 in the Mullins and 1-0 for St. Felix. So that's down to the semi-final stage. Brilliant. Open draw?
No, the draw was done.
Okay.
It's Burn in St. Pat's and Felix in Collection.
Brilliant. Let's get into the business end of that then as well, right?
Yeah, that'll be on
Is that
hopefully.
always the last game of the season, the 35s Carlow Cup final?
Yeah, the Mullins Cup is always the last.
Yeah.
It'll be after the Divisional Cup finals.
Right.
We did those draws last night.
Seen that, yeah.
So, as you said, it's wrapping up now. The Division 2 is over this weekend, Carnew and Pats. The following weekend, Parkville and Burn play in the Division 3 decider. And then Bagnallstown have 3 games left in the Division 1. They need 7 points. And Hanover are just behind them with 2 games left. So Hanover need Bagnallstown to drop, to lose somewhere.
Lose somewhere, yeah.
7 points in 3 games.
Yeah, to win Division 1.
Them, they're not that easy to get.
No, they're not, no.
And that'll be a fantastic achievement for Bagnallstown. It'll be 3 league titles in a row. Division 3, Division 2, Division 1, 3
back
years
to
in a row.
back, and then wow, that's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah,
Seen them a few weeks ago, they have a lot of strong players.
fantastic achievement that
And
one.
probably the fairly similar to the group they had when it started, which is a big, massive achievement in itself. Fair play to them. Here's why we have you on, Brian, not just for your aesthetics, right? Recent announcement on Calder Soccer. Talk to me.
Yeah, sure.
Where are we?
I was away on holidays and we got the news on Friday the 8th that the FAI had issued a statement. Paul Cook had issued a statement to all General Assembly members to say that there was now going to be an opt-out option. So we won the battle, or we won the war. We had a big celebration, I can tell you, that weekend. It's been it's been a really, really long 18 months, lads. It's been such a horrible fight. And as I said to you, the work done here in Carlow has been just phenomenal. It really has. Like the work that Noel Jordan put into this, he devoted, I would say, 18 months of his 2-year presidency of the LFA to fight this. And like, I know people often say I was out on the podcast and I was out at the front of it, but behind the scenes, it was all Noel. It was all the work that he done. It was just his passion and his dedication to make sure that this didn't get through. And then we had the Grassroots Amateur Football Association, Ian MacDonald's brainchild with Chris Collins and Thomas Doyle. And Ian is the same. I must have, in the last 18 months, I must have had so many conversations with Ian. He was so passionate about this. Those lads deserve, the first thing I did last Friday was email the 3 of them and thank them for all the work they did, particularly Ian. It's great to say that we finally won. I know you had Shane Keegan on a few weeks back and he spoke about the podcast that I was on with RTE that time.
Yeah.
And how everybody knew it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
But the FAI wouldn't listen to us.
Yeah.
They wouldn't listen to us.
Shane Keegan's an example, Brian, where Shane's a big FAI, a big League of Ireland advocate, and he knew it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It wasn't going to work for anybody. It wasn't going to work for the GA.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to work for anybody.
Yeah.
But the problem was they were so set in their ways. Mark Callum came in with this idea. They got it past the General Assembly, and they were so set in their ways they didn't want to. But it was that meeting in Portlaoise, that night in Portlaoise, where we got to sit down with the President and the Vice President, and they finally listened to everybody that was in the room and thought, something wrong here now. So we were all kind of wondering what was going to happen, because it's in the Constitution now. So to get out the Constitution would have to go back to General Assembly and would have to be a re-vote.
Right.
And that was going to get messy, and that was going to take a long. So this is an interesting way of doing it. They've given this, you're going to have to opt out. And we don't know the details. The details are to come out next week of how you opt out. But we can tell you, we in Carlow will be opting out for sure.
And I think everyone in Carlow will be happy to see that that's involved in junior soccer anyway, most definitely. And I also want to say Ian and Thomas are coming on in a couple of
brilliant.
weeks. Yeah,
Brilliant.
We're going to get them on because I'm in full agreement with you, and yourself included, the work that you've done, and I've been in contact with you a good bit throughout the whole thing. I think the work you're doing is absolutely.
Yeah, look, and it wasn't an easy fight. Like, as I said, Noel there in the background, it kind of overshadowed his presidency of the LFA. He had to work so hard, and then, like, when I had suggested, when we had suggested, basically this time last August, like, we have our formation meeting now next week for the new league. This time last year, myself and Noel and Mick and Keith and Bernard said to the clubs, look, lads, we've done everything we can in our power here. Yeah. I've gone on all the podcasts, I've written email after email, I've done everything. The FAI aren't listening. The clubs need to get the troops on the ground, is what I said. That's what needs to happen now.
All clubs together is a bigger fist,
yes,
isn't it?
Exactly. And in fairness to Ian MacDonald, he put his hand up and he said, I think it's a great idea. And he went and he found this Grassroots Football Association of Ireland, and by God did it take off.
Yeah.
Like, it's like what I said when I said that night, we need the troops on the ground. They went and got the troops, and by God did they get the troops. We ended up at a meeting in the Dolman Hotel last February. Yeah. It was over there was over 60 clubs from across Leinster in the Dolman Hotel with 5 TDs and everybody, and they formed a committee then, and Chris and Ian and Thomas. There was the lady Sarah from Wexford was the secretary of it. There was Jamie Farrell from Bunclody. They formed the grass. By the time April or May had come, they had 600 clubs from Donegal, Cork, Limerick, all affiliated to the Grassroots Football Association of Ireland. And they were out, they were active, they were writing to all the TDs, they were writing to everybody along in the background. I know when I was going on the podcast with RTE that time with Ralph on RTE, Ian was brilliant. I had messaged Ian and I said, look, Ian, I'm going on the RTE podcast tomorrow to discuss this. I said anything, and he sent me a load of questions. Go with this angle, go with this angle. He was brilliant to me. He was absolutely brilliant. Like,
it just shows you how wrong it was, though, Brian, when there's that many clubs.
It was. And the fact that, as you said, they got 600. And that's what in the end, that's what bet it. It was the war was won, the battle was won, because we outnumbered them in the end, and they had to see common sense. It wasn't going to work.
Is it just acceptance now, or will it come back with a fight?
I don't know. They've already thrown a little bit of a revenge out at us, I think, with the
cup draws,
with the cups moving Canada football. Now that was in the pipeline potentially anyway, but I definitely think that's kind of a little revenge kick to us.
I think that is revenge, yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that works. Now, obviously, the Kildare League and other leagues that run summer soccer are delighted because they've been fighting for this for years.
Right.
Because they've been at a huge disadvantage.
Playing when they're not playing, sorry.
Yeah, like Clonmullion won the league already up there, I think. The lads got the trophy last weekend or something like. And their season wouldn't normally finish till October, November. And then if they're in they have to play the LFA Cup during their break, November, December, January. So they've been, for the last 10 or odd years, they've been at a huge disadvantage. So, along with some of the other summer leagues. So they've been fighting for this anyway, but the majority are winter leagues. But as I said to you, Podge, and I said it to the lads last night at the meeting, I think this might suit Carlow clubs. Papa, you never entered the FAI Junior Cup for the last 3 years, I don't think, did you? Because you had no team in September. Now you're February before the first round is.
Yeah,
you could be top of the Premier League. You could be flying. You could have lads training. You could be just let's give the FAI Junior Cup a shot this year. I think it might suit Carlow teams. It certainly will the early rounds. Don't get me wrong. It will. Like when I look back at the record.
So is this immediately stretched? So there's no FAI and Leinster Junior.
No.
In 2025.
No, there is a Leinster Junior. It's only the FAI competition.
So Leinster Junior is normal in 2025.
Junior starts. I got the email this morning. So the Leinster Junior starts on the 21st of September.
Right.
Pa has to enter you, I think, by next week.
Right, yeah, we'll go into that anyway.
And the first round is Sunday the 21st of September.
Right.
And then normally the first round...
Depending on the draws you get, obviously.
Yeah.
It could be Friday, Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, of that weekend. And then normally the FAI would have been the previous weekend, the 14th. And the second round of the FAI would be the 28th. But there are 2 extra weekends now we have to play the Shield because there's no FAI. The FAI is not starting until February or March. We haven't got the dates yet.
Yeah.
But the FAI is not starting until February or March. but the LFA is staying as it's
This
only
is-
the FAI competitions. So it's the FAI Junior Cup, the FAI Intermediate Cup, the FAI U Cup, and the FAI Oscar Trainer Trophy. There's only the FAI competitions. The LFA competitions are staying in winter. So it really might suit. Like if we look back, Cretty Yard a few years ago would have gone far in the FAI Junior Cup the odd year. But Carlow teams have always struggled in it, and most Carlow teams didn't enter for the simple fact they weren't ready on the 14th of September.
Yeah.
Is it good for you in regards if you get more league fixtures out over quicker?
That's what I said to me. It's
Yeah.
from a fixture secretary point of view in Carlow. I mean,
It's only the Leinster Junior sort of not in your way, but
it's only the Leinster Junior
yeah.
my way now for the months of September, October, November, December. So I'll definitely get an extra 3-rounder Premier in nearly before Christmas.
So you'll be over halfway before Christmas nearly, you'd imagine.
That's the way it should work
Yeah.
now, yeah.
You won't get the headache on the back end, Brian. No.
No.
Come
Well,
January or
you see,
February,
you don't
March.
know. That's where it might happen.
Gotcha.
But the beauty of that is you'll have midweek.
Yeah.
So if you're playing FAI Junior Cup in March or April, you could just play your league game on the Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
makes sense.
The clocks will have changed.
And I think players will be happy with that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That time of year, Brian, if you're organising training Tuesday, Thursday, which most
Just
clubs
play a
do,
match Wednesday instead.
play a match instead of the 2 training sessions. You're happy enough from the week before, the
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Straight into a match, happy
Yeah.
days, hopefully no injuries.
Yeah. But even I'm just thinking there, my own head, if the opt-out, opt-in thing happens and it's a fairly even split, right? Let's just say for argument's sake in Leinster it's 6-6, right? Let's just say that
Yeah.
for argument's sake. Why can't you just run an alternative Leinster competition? So just run an alternative Leinster where teams that play in, say, traditionally, just
September to March
Yeah.
or April, yeah.
and have two of them. Like it's
Two
not,
FAI Junior Cups to
Yeah.
a certain degree, yeah.
do you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
like
As I say, it's going to be very interesting to see, particularly with some of the big Limerick leagues, some of the big leagues in Munster, and like, don't get me wrong, those Limerick teams have been in the final for how many Limerick teams?
Pike and all the boys.
How
yeah.
many of those
Yeah.
Limerick teams have been in the final of the FAI Junior Cup for the last number of years? St. Michael's down
Yeah.
there wasn't ever in the final last year, the year
Yeah.
before. So it'll be interesting to see how the other leagues. Like I think it could end up backfiring. It could be a big flop. Everyone might decide February 1st of March, I'm not entering the FAI Junior Cup. We don't want to play during the summer, and they might have to revert back in a couple of years. You don't know how it's going to work. There's major complications around registration. So like it's going to run from February, March, whenever the dates come out, until what, August, September.
yeah.
You're no longer registered with your club from the 30th of June. You have to re-register on the
It's a
1st
free
of
month.
1st of July.
Yeah.
So that's
Depending how far you go.
there's the complications of that. Now I know Kildare have said that they've had that issue for the last 15 or 16 years, and you just had to re-sign with your club. But you could end up with a scenario whereby you, for example, have signed a couple of new players, right? And you're still in the FAI Junior Cup. They can't play for you. You're using last year's squad in the quarter-final and semi-final of the FAI Junior Cup. You can't use the lads that you just signed on the 1st of July.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You have
yeah.
to use last year's team to finish out
Yeah.
the FAI Junior Cup. So that's going to cause massive complications for everybody,
Yeah.
particularly with the FAIU Cup.
But even training, though, Brian, like you're getting lads to train.
Yeah.
April is normally the end of the soccer season. Maybe May, bank holiday weekend, is it? The Carlow Cup final.
Yeah, May.
You're asking
May,
them to play
yeah.
if you get a run in it.
If you get a run in it, if you,
You
get
won't
through
get
the
that
first,
training.
if you get through the first 3 rounds, I reckon you're looking at playing in June and July.
Yeah.
And not only that, Brian, I tell you, I'd be happy to break as well.
Yeah, 100%.
As you do, you know.
I think we have a big problem at the moment in Carlow, and not getting a dig at the GA, but I think that the issue we have with them is they start their GA championship so late in Carlow.
Yeah.
It's causing us major issues. Like we can't start our leagues now till the 7th of October. Like I know lads there who were sitting on their thumbs for June and July. We're like, I've no football to play. The league is over.
Yeah.
I've no soccer to play. I'm not doing anything for June, July, and August.
Speaking
Because the
of some of the players, they're frustrated over it too.
Like because the GA now, the GA in Carlow, the football, sorry, the hurling obviously has been on for the last, and that's the way they do it. They run the hurling
Yeah,
for
they
6
do it.
weeks and then they run
Yeah.
the football for 6 weeks. So but the footballers have had nothing to play for the last 3 months because their league is over since the end of May.
Well,
or
the last
June.
competitive game, I think it was the league final. It was either the last weekend in April or the first week in May. Something like that.
It's the back that far.
Back that far.
Yeah.
That's the
Wow.
last time.
So now you've got lads doing nothing for June, July and August, and now
July
all
then.
of a sudden the football championship starts the same weekend as the KCLR Shield.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
You know what I mean? It's not giant up thinking really.
yeah.
No.
Yeah. Just going back to the Junior Cup there, I'm probably in the camp where I think it'll flop. I look at that product, Brian, I see it as probably one of the best amateur competitions in Europe. Like in relation to participation,
Yeah.
in relation to amount of teams. Like the fact that they're going to try and dilute it, I think is absolutely lunacy.
Many teams are you talking, Brian, at the start of that?
Oh, it's massive. Sure, because it has to be regionalised. Like when we
Yeah.
get the draws, we do be grouped with Wexford,
Kilkenny.
in the first few rounds, and Kildare in the first few rounds, and that will be the last 128 maybe. Then after I think 3 rounds, it goes out to Leinster, and then after that it goes out to all of Ireland. I know if once you get to the last 32, Creteyard end up in Donegal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you're talking hundreds because of the fact that it's so regionalised at the start. Like the first few rounds
is terrible, isn't it?
Big mistake.
To dilute
in my
that.
opinion.
So it will be interesting to see what the entry number is come February or March this year.
I can't see anyone entering it.
No, as I said, you could 100% be right. You really could, and that's
can't see
that's it.
anyone entering.
And the youth is even more of an interesting one because we were talking about you enter a youths in February or March, and you're still in it in June, and lads are not youths anymore.
yeah. They're overage.
Yeah, but they're re-registered. They're overage.
But they have to re-register to finish off the competition in
Yeah.
July
They're
and
overage.
August. They're overage for your next season.
Yeah.
So you're now training in July
That's
with a
fucking
team that are
made up, isn't it?
overage for the league, but you're playing last year's FAI Youth Cup.
Makes no sense.
It certainly doesn't.
So it's going to be very interesting. But
Would you wonder how lads sit in a room and give that the green light?
yeah, and then the summer leagues will tell you they've been putting up with that for the last 15 years, and they've had to get around with it. So look,
They're the ones that argue the point.
Yeah. No, there's not many. But look, I suppose at the end of the day, the good news is we're not sitting here talking about Canada football and what we're going to do. We've won the fight, we've won the war after a big long battle. And as I said, there's so much credit needs to go to so many people out there. But the FAI need a long hard look at themselves too.
They do.
Wayne, yeah. Like even just thinking in my mind that Oscar thing, that's obviously the start of that competition. It's Leinster based, right?
Yes.
So is that under LFA?
Yes.
So there's two kind of entities running the one competition.
Yeah, it's going to get very complicated. And like, so far, the only documentation we have was the 2 emails about it's going to be a split season this year. So the Pat Whitty Cup is an LFA competition for Leinster leagues only. The winner of the Pat Whitty Cup qualifies for the Oscar Traynor semi-final. So it used to be...
Does the loser still go into the quarter-final?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. So
No.
it's just the winner only.
Just the winner only now. And it used to be... had to have a third and fourth place playoff, remember? Because third place also went... Leinster had 3 representatives. But for this year anyway, they're saying there's only 4 places in the Oscar Traynor Trophy competition. 1 for each province.
The way it should be.
And how each province decides its representative is up to
them.
Is up to each province. So in Leinster we have the Pat Whitty Cup.
Mm.
Now there's a lot of leagues didn't enter last year, and there's been big discussions about this, and there's more meetings to come as to why leagues don't enter. A lot of leagues don't enter because of the expense, was the feedback at the last meeting. A lot of leagues don't enter because they don't want midweek games. A lot of leagues don't enter because they don't want weekend games because it takes away all their... And it was a discussion I had with the lads. Like, if we had 4 Oscar Traynor, or four Pat Whitty Cup games, say we had 4 Pat Whitty Cup games, I can't afford to lose 4 weekends of Premier fixtures.
Yeah.
I can't afford to lose 4 weekends, especially when it was FAI Junior Cup, LFA Junior Cup. I couldn't afford to lose 4 weekends of Premier fixtures. Just can't happen. Couldn't happen. So midweek was the only scenario. But after the first year, a lot of leagues didn't suit midweek, and we ended up in a scenario last year where only 4 leagues entered, and it was a bit of a watered down competition. So there's meetings over the next couple of weeks to see how we run this year's competition. What's the suggestions? How can we get more than 4 leagues in? So it'll be interesting to see what we come up with. I know one of the ideas out there at the moment is potentially a weekend blitz.
Yeah. Wasn't that...
Say 7 or 8 leagues. Say the Leinster Senior League enter, the Kildare League enter, the Kilkenny League enter, the Waterford League enter, the Wexford League enter, the Carlow League enter, Wicklow enter. He's all go up to the AUL. He's all play a match Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, it's final Sunday afternoon, and good luck. And you're only affecting 1 weekend's worth of fixtures. You're not asking lads to give up midweek. The other idea is to go back to the old-fashioned straight knockout.
I do the open draw. Straight knockout. I think you get more participation in that. What's your fix? If you were to fix it now,
I would go back to straight knockout.
Papa?
Well, for me, yeah.
Would you go back straight knockout as well? Yeah, I would.
Straight knockout.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. There's meetings in the next couple of weeks about how this year's competition is going to be run.
You ask players to go up and play potentially 4 games in a weekend. I presume they're going to be full 90-minute games if you're looking for a blitz.
Yeah,
Absolutely impossible.
You see, I suppose the argument would be if a squad is 22 or 26.
Yeah, but you're not picking your best team for the second game.
The
Yeah,
All-Ireland, that used to be the All-Ireland final series for Oscar Traynor. Years and years ago was
Blitz.
Blitz.
Was it?
Over a weekend, yeah.
No, I'd be a massive fan of knockout.
Yeah.
Look, if you get bet in the first round, you get a tough draw. What about it? It's part of the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But knockout, if you're good enough to win it, go and win it.
Yeah.
But the only thing about knockout is if you only have 4 teams, it's pointless.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
the
Yeah,
other side.
because that's the problem you see, and then
Yeah.
we haven't been getting the entries the last couple of years.
But
So
if there's only 4 teams in Leinster and straight knockout, you're semi-final straight away. So that's
Yeah.
not good enough.
no,
Yeah. How are we with the league domestically?
we're getting there. Shield draw was last night. So we've a record 21 clubs
Brilliant.
for the first time ever, which caused a bit of complications with the Shield draw because normally we had the 20 clubs. It was 10 matches the opening weekend of the season, so we had to do a preliminary round. Ballymurphy and Mill got each other in the preliminary round, and then all the others are playing each other. So all the fixtures are currently set for next Sunday, the 31st of August at 11 o'clock. But clubs have been given the option. We were aware it's Electric Picnic weekend. Clubs have been given the option if they want to rearrange their match for the Wednesday night or Thursday night of next week. They can do so. They have to let me know by 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. So I've already got.
Right.
I've already had.
Wednesday, lads.
I've already had an email from Daniel Bulger this evening. New Oak and Castle Rangers have agreed to play next Thursday night at 6:30.
Brilliant.
So that's the first one set for Thursday night. At the moment, all the rest of them are on the website for Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. And there will be, if the two teams can't agree a night, it stays
As
At
is.
11 o'clock
as is
Sunday
at
morning.
11
That
o'clock
makes
Sunday morning.
sense.
So currently we have the other 9 games down for Sunday the 31st. So the way it happens then is it's the usual. The 10 winners will go into the Shield first round, proper 5 matches the following weekend, the 7th of September. The 10 losers will play the plate first round, 5 matches the following weekend, the 7th
Which
of
is a great
September.
competition, I think.
And then the 14th of September, I used to lose some games because of the FAI Junior Cup. Now I won't. I'll be able to play the quarterfinals of the Shield and quarterfinals of the plate. The 21st of September will be the LFA. And then that midweek we'll have the semi-finals of the Shield the week after. And then we're going to play the Shield final this year on the 19th of December. We've made that decision already.
Brilliant.
With Christmas being a Wednesday, we kind of felt it's a weekend where
Yeah.
not everybody will want to play, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it's not near enough to Christmas to say you can't have a fixture.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
decided we'd play the Shield final on Friday night, the 19th of December. And the play final will be sometime the same, or we might get the play final over in September. All leagues don't kick off. The Premier kicks off on the 28th of September, and the other leagues kick off on the 6th and 7th of October. We're still a little bit off. We have a formation meeting or launch night next Tuesday night, where we'll have the manager of each club and a player from each club in for an interview, like we did
Brilliant.
last
Great
year.
night, yeah.
An official launch night.
Time is that, Brian?
It's at 7:30 in the Seven Oaks next Tuesday night. And then what we're hoping to do, we're hoping to tidy up the affiliations. The affiliations at this time of the year become a bit of a nightmare. Like Ballinglass want to enter 2 teams potentially. Castle Rangers talking about entering 2 teams potentially. Norney are looking at
How
entering.
does that work, Brian, if it doesn't happen then? Is it a nightmare for you?
Yeah, well,
course it is.
this is why we need
Yeah.
to tie it down.
Yeah.
We need
Well, like it's-
we need to tie it down. Like at the moment, I have all these potential entries.
Potentially is no good to
Potentially
you,
is no
right?
good, like
Yeah.
to anyone. Myself and the lads met
when is
last
the
night.
last time Ballinglass and Castle Rangers had 2 second teams?
I wouldn't be
Jesus,
aware
I
of
was-
I wouldn't be aware of Castle ever having 2
I
teams.
I don't think so.
Castle had a second team in around 2006, I'd say. Remember they had a second team because I was
Norney have
asked to
2
play for
teams.
them.
Have they?
Norney
Wow.
entered, and they definitely have 2 teams. They've confirmed their 2 teams. So one of their teams has to be promoted because you can't have 2 teams in the same division, and they were in the bottom division last year. So like it's proven very difficult because we can't even form the leagues. We're going to a league formation meeting next week, and we can't even form the leagues because I don't know who's entered and who's not entered.
10-team Premier?
10-team Premier, and that's the only thing that's pretty much set. Obviously, Kilree were relegated, and Kilree were relegated, and St. Fuchs were promoted.
Yeah.
And we only had 6 teams in Tully's travel this year, and we don't want a Division 1 with 6 teams.
So what's the idea? What's the
Well,
fix?
we're waiting
man?
to see what
comes
enters.
in.
What enters.
What's the time frame on that, Brian? Tell the people.
We've kind of set it for the middle of September.
Okay.
We need to sit down by the middle of September. Like if we've got all these extra clubs, like we potentially could have. We've got St. Anne's who are definitely back. They're in the
That's
Shield.
brilliant. Great
Fair
news,
play.
yeah.
Delighted to see them back.
Yeah.
We met their committee. They're doing Trojan work up there.
They are, yeah.
They're putting in planning permission for full size Astro. They're fundraising. They're doing Trojan work. They're coming back in youths as well, which is great to see.
Brilliant.
So St. Anne's are back. That's an extra team. Potentially Ballinglass having an extra team, Nurney having an extra team, Castle Rangers having an extra team. So we potentially could have 4 extra teams in the league.
Oh.
And we had very unbalanced divisions in terms of it was 10, 6, 8, 10. So we need to stretch that out and sort that out. But I can't do any of that until clubs have confirmed their entries.
Gotcha.
For the league with 6, you have to do 3 rounds, do you?
That's what we did last year. Yeah.
No
So,
one likes that 3 rounds thing,
No.
don't they?
No.
It's not full. So you're getting 2 home games against some, so that's making
Yeah.
sense. Well, it's
Yeah.
not fair.
Yeah. So look, we'll wait and see what enters. I suppose the simplest solution is to promote the top 2 or the top 3 out of the division below it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you had to, rather instead of just promoting
Well, it's only
the winner,
fair putting the
instead of
3
just
teams into
promoting
the bottom,
winner,
isn't it?
Do you get much kickback when you do that from clubs? Like, are clubs happy to go up a division, or like is there any negativity around it?
Yeah, like we've never really done it. We normally just promote the winners.
Okay.
But like we have to restructure divisions. We have to restructure our divisions. You know what I mean? You can't have a big imbalance in your league where you've got a division of 6 and a division of 12. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
I think that first division this year is going to be tasty.
The first division is always the hardest one to get off because you've got most clubs' first teams.
But this
You know what I
year
mean?
definitely.
You've got Kilree, you've got Slaney, you've got Ballymurphy, you've got Dolman, you've got you've got Mill Celtic, like St. Pat's.
No.
You're going to have Baltinglass now, and St. Pat's B are the only B team in it.
Yeah.
Everyone else is it's the one team in the club. It's the first team. It's the hardest league to win.
Yeah.
Felix will tell you that. Burn Celtic will tell you, like, I mean, it's the hardest. I think the Premier is going to be unbelievable this year.
Premier's going to be a different level, I think.
It really is, because St. Felix are coming up there and they're going to give so many teams a run for their money.
We had a preview show there last Friday, and Scraggs, your own lad, was at Craig, and there was no one giving away anything.
No.
But the one thing that was definitely clear across everyone was that they understand how tough it's going to be.
Yeah, and I can't believe how early some of these clubs went back pre-season training. They're back weeks ago. Like they're flat out. So it'll be interesting to see the Shield in terms of the youths. Entries are down a small bit. We had 2 divisions last year. I don't think we're going to have 2 divisions this year. There was a small under 16 league in Carlow last year, so entries are down a little bit there. The girls' youths look like it's going to almost double.
Wow.
It looks like we could go from 4 to 7.
Wow.
And the ladies looks like it'll go from 7 till 9.
One division.
Things are looking good. It's going to be a really busy few weeks. The next 4 to 5 weeks are just mental.
The ladies' teams have done fantastic last year, haven't they? In the outside competitions.
Yeah. Yeah, like Mill got to
Mill, was it? And
Mill LFA final.
Yeah.
And Vale in the LFA
Vale,
Shield final and the Shield final.
And the year before that, they won it.
Yeah. Like that Mill ladies team were unbelievable last year. We're going for potential treble, our league and cup double, and now they came up against a team from Dublin that were just, you knew they were going to, unfortunately, they were going to lose. They were unbelievable.
Very good side.
That team were borderline League of Ireland. Like they're
right.
unbelievable. But that Mill team are unbelievable.
The girl in goal is meant to be absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, Geraldine Norton.
Yeah,
For
she's meant to
Mill?
be-
Yeah.
meant to be
Is she?
different level,
Unbelievable.
though,
Yeah. She got goalkeeper of the year there for the ladies. She was very good. So like it's there. Like we've gone from being a strong junior league to a very strong junior male and female, and very strong youths male and female, which is fantastic to see. Like we tried our hardest to get the girls' youths up and running the last few years. And we went ahead last year with just 4 teams, and they played each other 4 times, which is a bit. So it's great to see the extra numbers coming in this year.
Yeah.
It's great.
There's
to
a bit
see.
of talk about Vale. Have they got a team?
It's gas because everyone's asking me that, and they've affiliated
Have they, right?
and potentially a B team as well.
It's brilliant.
They're a question mark a B team as well. They have no youths. They confirmed no youths. They've pulled out the youths.
So the B would be the majority of the youths that won the B division last year.
They've entered the B, but it's gas how rumours go around, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's just
Yeah.
when you hear of different things, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
I know they kind of haven't had a manager or coach or whatever since Billy left. And I don't know if that gap's been filled since. Maybe it has, but I said it's rumour mill. But I think it's a shame because you've just said it. It's so hard to get to the Premier.
Yeah.
To be taken out of it due to not having bodies or numbers or a coach or manager is terrible to happen to you. Like,
Yeah.
because you'll never know when you get back into it.
Yeah, and I know Dolman this year are in trouble. They lost a lot of players. They've been on to us.
Yeah,
They're only going to have one team. And I think did I see did Joe Dorn score a load of goals for Clonmullion? And I saw
Well,
with a
flying.
trophy.
He's flying.
What a player, lads!
Oh,
Keelan
he's
Essie's
brilliant.
flying for them as well.
How many even went to Clonmullion?
3.
And they all did really well.
4.
Apparently,
Did John not go as well?
Oh, sorry,
No.
John went. John,
Keelan, Danny and Joe.
and
yeah,
they all
sorry,
did
4.
really well. Apparently,
Straight into the team for them, I think.
yeah, and won the trophy.
Yeah, and they're still they
Fantastic.
played
But
the
yeah, so
weekend.
that's actually one team we lose. So we do lose a team there. Dolman won't have a B team. They've only affiliated one team.
In regards of
Actually,
fixtures,
and Parkville have 3 teams.
Shut up.
Parkville have 3 teams. Backhand.
Pause the checkbook out, boy.
All these years,
Apologise.
for years I played for Parkville C.
Yeah.
For years I played for Parkville B or Parkville C. Parkville had 3 teams for years. Like I'm
Did
going
they?
back, yeah. Like I would have played for Parkville up until I went to college in England in 1996, and even when I came home in 2000 for 1 year before I took up refereeing, I played for Parkville C. Parkville would have always had 3 teams. They've got mad numbers in there. They had a youth team last year who kept going and going and going. They lost to Vale in the league decider for
That's right, yeah.
They lost to Vale in the cup final, and they're pretty much all over age. And they wanted
Straight into a C team.
They wanted
setup.
somewhere for them to go, and then they were giving out. Podge had 49 players or something like he always has. So they've loads of players.
All Podges are like that, you know.
They wanted 3 teams. So like that's actually that's another that cancels Dolman being lost.
So you're not.
Dolman kind of being lost.
You're gaining teams,
But
obviously.
we're gaining teams. That's what I'm saying to you. We're gaining 4 or 5 teams. So we have to restructure our divisions. We'll have no choice. But
Who's playing Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays? What's the home teams, home venues?
yeah, there's been no changes there really. So Collection are the only team.
On Friday.
Yeah, and then Pats, Burn Celtic,
Fuchs
Saturday nights, and Vale B have said if Vale have a B team, they'll be Saturday nights.
And VLA is Sunday.
Yes.
So the rest is Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, it'll depend. It's fine doing the fixtures at the start, but when it comes to near the end of the season, and if we end up with 5, if there's 5 Sunday Premier games left, that they'll have to be split between 11 and 2 o'clock. Like,
Yeah.
but, the fact that we can have Friday and Saturday night is fantastic. Particularly the fact you have 3 options now with Fuchs in the Premier.
Yeah.
So if we can somehow, when I'm doing the fixtures, split those out so that I don't make the
surveil-
mistake. Don't make the mistake of putting Pats, Burn, and Fuchs all at home the one weekend and have 3 Saturday night games, because that'll end up backfiring on you
Yeah,
at the
of
end of the
course.
season. You'll end up with all 5 Sunday games. So that's something that
I know.
that's
Last year I
something.
had two kickoffs.
That's something I'll have to try and watch. Trying to do the fixtures, like because we're so busy. Like I mean, it's a
It's
voluntary
easy
role.
miss things though.
It's a
Brian,
voluntary
isn't it?
role, like, and people often say to me, "How did you make that mistake?" Like, some people were giving out last year. It turned out Cretty Yard had their last 4 games at home, and I was like, "Oh, how did I make that mistake?"
Yeah.
But you see, when it comes to me doing the fixtures on a Thursday night, I press a button on the computer,
Yeah.
and I can we've done so much work with the computer programmer. Like, it does everything for me.
Yeah.
Like, it got to the stage where I can tell the computer.
So your job is not hard.
It got to the stage where I can tell the computer, New Oak have asked for a free weekend. Hanover need an away game. So I put all that information into the computer,
And then just press the button.
and it spits me out a combination of fixtures. Now, usually I'll sit there and go, "Oh no, I don't want that game this weekend. That's a big lead decider. I don't want that game."
Yeah, of course. Makes sense though.
And I'd look at the fixture and go, "Oh no, I can't have that game because they played at home last week and they're at home next week." So, and I'd say no, and I keep pressing the button, and it'll keep giving me all the different possible. There could be 9 combinations,
Yeah.
and I keep pressing it to see how many. And sometimes when I press the button, and people say, sometimes when I press the button, and it goes, there's only one combination of fixtures.
Computer
that-
says no.
You
Yeah,
have to play it.
there's only one combination
You
of
have to play
fixtures
it.
that work for that
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
So if 2 particular teams have asked for a free day, and everybody else has played each other, and the computer tells me, "Well, I'm sorry, but that's the only set of fixtures that works this weekend."
But you have to
What
watch
happened
them in the
was-
second half, Brian, in regards
and
of
that's-
who's on top and who's
Yeah.
close to them. And
And,
regards of-
and then I what happened to me was I was very busy in January, February in school. I was really busy, and I had just been back from my accident and whatever else. And what happened was I never noticed when I pressed it. Cretty Yard got, after Christmas, Cretty Yard's first 3 Premier games were away, which is something I normally cop.
Yeah.
And on the 3rd
Right.
week, I would have said to the computer, "Can you regenerate a different set?"
Yeah.
I just never copped it.
Yeah.
And in the end,
Yeah,
then,
but you're only human, right?
now at the end of the day, I mean, everyone plays equal home and equal away.
Yeah.
But these are things you have to watch for. And the more leagues you have, like now you've got 4 divisions, you've got youth girls, you've got youth boys, you've got girls league. There's more and more things that you have to be
Yeah,
have
but
to
you
be watching
see,
for.
you're not in a position, Brian, where you can schedule the league fixtures Premier League style, right?
No,
weeks,
and it's
you
funny
know.
you mentioned that. Eric Malloy rang me last week. Eric is involved in Collection, I believe, again. He's playing for Bray at the moment.
Yeah. That's right.
I used to teach Eric, a lovely chap.
Nice lad, yeah.
Taught him for years, and he rang me last week, and he said to me, "What's the story, Brian? Can you not issue a book with the fixtures?" And I said, "Eric, you're about the 50th person to ask me that."
But you can.
I said, "It doesn't work." And he
Like
was
the golf club, hand out the book, there's your
and he was
fixtures.
like,
for the-
why doesn't it work? He says. And I said, I tried to explain to him that clubs have 10 days to use their free day.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah, but if someone uses their free day, just cancel that game and put it to the end of the season." I said, "That's fine, but what if Hanover are due to play New Oak and Cretty Yard are due to play Collection, and Hanover and Cretty Yard use their free day? Well, New Oak and Collection could have played each other now. There's 2 teams sitting idle for no reason."
Yeah.
What if there's a waterlogged pitch?
Yeah.
What if there's a
Yeah.
bereavement?
Mm.
What
And
if, you know?
I said, and he said, people say to me, "Oh, the GA give out the fixtures to start." I was like,
Nah,
"Hang
no.
on a second, lads. every GA ground in this country has floodlights.
yeah,
So if you can't
yeah,
play
yeah.
on a Sunday, rearrange it some night during the week there, lads, to suit you. You can't do that in soccer."
No.
Like, don't get me wrong, I would
Well, you do
love,
for a neutral venue, can't you?
I would love to issue a book of fixtures next week.
should be brilliant.
Yeah.
And you go, "There you are.
Yeah.
There's your fixtures for the
See you at the
season.
end of the year.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. See
Yeah.
you, mate."
Yeah.
It doesn't work in amateur
No,
football.
no.
If it did, lads, every league, every amateur football league, like we trialed, was it 3 years ago now? 3 years ago now, remember I trialled 2 weeks at a time.
Oh, yes.
And that even became a headache.
Yeah.
Because I had the fixtures done, and then under rule, you were allowed your free day within 10 days.
Yeah.
And lads came in on the Wednesday. Oh, I want the following weekend off. And I'm like, well, lads, I did 2 weeks worth of fixtures last week. Oh, yeah, but I'm entitled to my day off.
But that's double-edged, you see, because I've seen who they were playing in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. I think if you put down a book of fixtures and you sent it to the club, say, in July, right? Everything was in. You sent it to July. Here's the Premier fixtures. Hanover Harps are playing Parkville at home early in the season. Perfect. Newark next game. If there's a free weekend, anyway, there's a first one. I just think it'd be making it a lot easier on clubs to avoid games that they shouldn't be
But
having.
of course, the other big issue with not being able to do this, also you have the scenario, and that was the big one I explained, was you had all these outside competitions.
Yeah.
So the 14th of September, I don't know what teams I was going to have, the 21st of September. And then the big problem was the 28th of September was the second round of the LFA. But sure, all the Carlow teams might have got knocked out in the first round and were all available to play Premier.
Yeah.
And now they're not available. So I mean, you just physically can't do fixtures in advance.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't work. It can't be done.
No.
But no, look, we're looking forward now this year to being able to focus on the matches, the fixtures, the results. Last year, a lot of our time was taken up with the.
Well, that cloud is gone now. And
how are we
with
with referees?
Yeah, fine. Same as last year. We didn't lose any. Didn't lose any. We're all good as far as I know. Mick said last night he had ample to cover the fixtures that were there. We haven't lost. There's been no retirements, I believe. So I think all is good there.
Good.
All is good there. So as I said, from an administrative point of view, if I know from me and from Noel and from Ian and Thomas and Chris's point of view, there's a massive weight off our shoulders.
Brilliant.
We can now focus. The lads can focus on their clubs. Me and Noel can focus on
the league, and it's a big year. It's our 40th anniversary.
Brilliant.
We have a massive dinner dance planned for June, and we've got a lot of work to put into that. And now that we don't have to spend all our Tuesday nights and Thursday nights on LFA meetings and FAI meetings and fighting this calendar football fight, we can focus on ourselves. We can focus on planning a big night for our 40th anniversary and work around that. And as I said, it was the best news we could have got on holidays.
Yeah,
and
for
whatever
sure.
information comes out in the next day or two as to how you get this exemption, I can tell you, we'll be the first to apply. We'll be the first to get that email off and apply, whatever it is.
Brilliant. Listen, thanks so much for coming on, Brian. I know you're an extremely busy man.
Yeah.
Poppity batting for him.
I know. Look, we know how hard your job is, Brian. Even though we have a bit of crack with it, but look, we've massive respect for you. The job you do is on.
Well, I love fact checking you every week after.
Yeah,
I
text message. Yeah.
I usually listen to you when I'm out for my walks.
Yeah.
And I'll take out the phone and I'll text Podge. That was wrong. That was wrong. And that was wrong.
That's happened a lot, but look, why not? We're only human, as you said. Listen, thanks so much for coming on, and best luck for the following season or the upcoming season. And I'm delighted with the news.
Yeah,
obviously.
absolutely. Yeah,
and I think you and Ian and Thomas and Noel, I think you might have saved soccer in Carlow.
You've done a fantastic job in that, and I think the players will be as happy too, because you don't have the game without the players, and to ask players to choose between a league game and a county semi-final, which is important to both teams, it's not fair on the player, and they're the ones going to lose out.
Yeah.
So look, it's a fantastic result, and I'm delighted with it.
Yeah. Thanks a million.
Sure. As always, that's not my podcast.
Not my podcast.
Carlow Sports Podcast is your podcast. Good luck and God bless. I hope you enjoyed that bonus episode.
Brilliant. Yeah. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, lads.
Thanks a million.
That's full time on this week's episode of the Housey Podcast. Available on all podcasting platforms. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter/X. Proudly sponsored by Amplify. Got a story to tell? A voice that needs to be heard? Get in touch with us here in Amplify, Carlow Town's professional home for podcasters of all kinds. We can be found on Instagram at Amplify Podcast Studio. Amplify, power up your podcast.